Guests, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to one and all present here. I heartily welcome you all to the inaugural function of 22nd Henry Dunant Memorial Moot Competition, India National Rounds, organized by the Indian Society of International Law in collaboration with the International Committee of the Red Cross, New Delhi. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome dignitaries on the dais. I welcome Mr. Kadir Ewal Omar, Head of the Regional Delegation ICRC New Delhi, Mr. George Guladze, Regional Legal Advisor for South Asia, Sri Narinder Singh Sir, Secretary General Indian Society of International Law. I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to the Chief Guest of the event, Honorable Mr. Justice Pankaj Mittal, Judge Supreme Court of India. We welcome you, sir. I would like to request Narinder Singh Sir, Secretary General ISIL, to kindly felicitate the Chief Guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Pankaj Mittal, with a token of gratitude. Sir, to present copy of publications of the Indian Society of International Law. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Narinder Singh Sir to kindly present bouquet to our guests from International Committee of Red Cross, Mr. Kadir Omar, Head of the Regional Delegation, ICRC New Delhi. And also, now I would like to request G.V. Rao sir to please come on the stage, Vice President of the Indian Society of International Law, to felicitate Dr. George Duladze. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request Mr. Kadir Oval Omar to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice Pankaj Mittal with the memento. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. George Guladze to felicitate Sri Narinder Singh Sir, Secretary General Indian Society of International Law, with the memento. Thank you, sir. Now I request Sri Narinder Singh Sir, Secretary General Indian Society of International Law, to kindly give the welcome address to the gathering.
Honorable Justice Pankaj Mittal, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Kadir Awal Omar, Head of the Regional Delegation of the ICRC in New Delhi, Dr. George Guladze, Regional Legal Advisor, the ICRC, members of the Indian Society of International Law, teachers, students, participants who have come for the Moot Court. I welcome you all to this 22nd edition of the Henry Dunant Moot Court competition. This Moot Court is organized jointly by the ICRC delegation to New Delhi and the Indian Society of International Law. And this is the 22nd year in which the Moot Court is being organized. I'm very happy to note that there are so many teams which have registered for this year's Moot Court. The highest number of teams which we have registered so far was 60. Unfortunately, during the pandemic, the participation had come down, but now I see that it is recovered and students are as enthusiastic as they were before to take part in this competition. The moot court competition is a great learning opportunity for all of us. It's an opportunity to research on vital issues of international law and, in particular, international humanitarian law. So, your participation teaches you to research and also how to present your research before the judges, how to draw conclusions and put them in a coherent manner to substantiate the arguments for the team you are arguing. Not only that, since you have to argue both sides, it teaches you that there's more than one way of looking at the facts and the issues which are in dispute. So, at one instance, you are supporting one side of the problem, and suddenly you have to then turn around and support the argument on the other side. Now, participating in moot courts is an opportunity which my generation did not have when we studied law. It was all basically studying the theory, but now you have this practical alternative of actually applying the law and researching the law with as students, and that helps to prepare you for the career as practitioners of the law. So I'm very happy to see the interest that this moot court competition generates among young students, and in particular that the problem related to international law generates so much of interest and so much of excitement and the spirit of competition. I also would like to thank the ICRC delegation here for the invaluable support that they provide to this food court competition, not only in preparing the problem, giving you readings, and also in guidance on how to go about preparing for the competition. This competition is funded entirely by the ICRC here, and the winners of this year's competition will then go on to participate in the Asia round, which would be held in Hong Kong. So, with that, I wish all of you the best for this competition, and first, may the best team win. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for opening remarks. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Kadir Omar, head of the regional delegation ICRC New Delhi, to kindly give his address.
Sir Justice Pankaj Mittal, Judge Supreme Court of India, Dr. Luther Anjari, Joint Secretary, Legal and Judicial Division, Mr. External Affairs and Executive Council Member ICL, Dr. Narendra Singh, Secretary General, Indian Society of International Law, Member of Executive Council of ISIL, Mr. Shikha Ranjan, Director of Legal Affairs, Asian African Legal Consultative Organization, ALCO, esteemed professors from universities across India, students from various universities across India, dear colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. On behalf of International Committee of Red Cross, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 22nd edition of Henry Dunant Memorial Court competitions in India national round. This inaugural ceremony marks the commencement of an intensive 3 days program filled with animated debates and contestations on various aspects of international humanitarian law, IHL. The objective of this event is to foster greater understanding of IHL among future generations of lawyers and to build their interest to further research and debate IHL issues. The competition bears the name of person Henry Dunant, the first recipient of Nobel Peace Prize in 1901, whose vision led to the first codification of contemporary IHL and the creation of ICRC in 1863. This 22nd edition is very special for us, as this year also marks the 160th anniversary of the foundation of ICRC. Today, 160 years on, the International Red Cross and Red Cross movement brings together 192 national societies, all united by desire to alleviate human suffering and provide assistance to the most vulnerable people wherever they are. Our neutralities enables us to cross the front line, provide necessary protection and humanitarian assistance impartially. ICRC is interested by the Geneva Convention of 1949, the additional protocols, and the status of international Red Cross and Red Cross movement, with the responsibility of working for the fruitful application of international humanitarian law IHL for its wider understanding, dissemination, and development. At the center of its mandate and activities is the promotion of IHL both in time of armed conflict and in time of peace. In the fulfillment of this responsibility, the ICRC undertake also disseminating and promoting IHL within academic circles and activities engaged in actively engaged in wide range of activities. Among these engagements are organizing and sponsoring advanced IHL training for academic and policy makers, organizing IHL Moot Court like we are doing today, facilitating and supporting IHL roundtables and workshops, and encouraging and supporting the integration of IHL courses within the curricula of higher education institutions. In India, this core competition has been jointly conducted by ICRC with unwavering support from the Society of International Law for more than 2 decades. Both our institutions share the common vision of promoting the teaching, the research, and dissemination of IHL among all vital stakeholders in the country. We take great pride in the fact that enthusiasm and hard work of students have made Henry Dunant Memorial Moot Court competition one of the premier Moot Court competition in the country, and indeed the distinction of being the largest Moot Court competition of IHL in India. Distinguished guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with the evolution of means and method of warfare over centuries, armed conflict is no longer confined to the conventional theater of land, air, and sea, and has indeed spilled over into the domains of space and cyberspace as well. With a view on encouraging intellectual exploration of how this development impacts respect and support of the law, this year's Moot Court proposition presented the participants of explores the exigence of the humanitarian implication of naval warfare including its potential impact on sustained connectivity through cyber network. The factual matrix that all teams are grappling with will also include serious reflection on challenges related to environmental protection and medical care during armed conflict. Over the coming days, we take comfort in the fact that participants will present legal arguments in relations to nothing more than a fictional case study. Let us recall, however, that such fictions could be another person's reality. The issues are real, that they affect human beings in a number of ways in various parts of the globe with humanitarian needs. I am delighted to see that this year's team from 48 universities have registered to participate in the international rounds as a culmination of several months of research, reflections, and careful drafting and preparation of arguments. As Excellency said earlier, hopefully the number is increasing, including the maximum number you reach 16. The number, of course, this time double compared to last year, shows the strengthening of collaborative efforts of partners. We also appreciate the person guidance of mentors and teachers who have supported them throughout this journey. It was also very challenging for our experts to scrutinize the memorials prepared by the team since students did a wonderful job. I take this opportunity to extend our heartfelt wishes to all participants. It's a learning assignment, a wonderful experience, and a memory that you will carry with you as you advance further in your professional lives. So let's make the most of your time here. Make it count for the judge to decide who should be the winner. I also take this opportunity to express, on behalf of ICRC, my honors and gratitude to organizers and invited guests. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Have a nice evening, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. I feel honored to take this opportunity to invite and to briefly introduce Honorable Mr. Justice Judge Pankaj Mehta, Judge Supreme Court of India, to deliver his inaugural address. To briefly introduce born on 17th June 1961 at Meerut in a family of lawyers, he received his early education at St. Mary's Academy, Meerut. Graduated in BCom Honours in 1982 from the University of Allahabad. Later joined Meerut College and obtained his law degree from Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut. Got enrolled in 1985 in the Bar Council of UP and started practicing under the able guidance of Sri Sudhir Chandra Verma, who later adorned the bench of Allahabad High Court as a judge and then became Lokayuk UT. He mainly practiced on the civil side and dealt with large number of cases of land acquisition, rent control, education, voter accident, labor, and other miscellaneous matters, including service and constitutional. He served as the standing counsel for the Uttar Pradesh Awas Evam Vikas Parishad Lucknow and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, Agra. He was a third generation lawyer and a person of second generation to be the High Court judge. His father, Justice Narendra Nath Mittal, was also a judge of the Allahabad High Court from 14th December 1978 to 7th April 1992. He himself was elevated as an additional judge of Allahabad High Court on 7th July 2006. He was posted as senior judge of Lucknow, bench of Allahabad High Court in the year 2020, elevated as the Chief Justice of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh High Court on 4th January 2021, transferred as the Chief Justice Rajasthan High Court on 14th of October 2022. He is governor's nominee to the Executive Council of Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut. He is also a trustee of Itawa Hindi Seva Nidhi and the founder trustee of Justice Narendra Nath Mittal Memorial Foundation, a trust established by his mother in memory of his late father. Sir is elevated to the Supreme Court on 6th of February 2023 and he is going to serve the Supreme Court till 16th of June 2026. We welcome you, sir. Please see here.
Evening to everyone present, distinguished guests on the dais, esteemed members of the Indian Society of International Law and International Committee of the Red Cross, participating students, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure and privilege for me to inaugurate the national rounds of 22nd Henry Dunant Memorial Moot Court Competition, organized by the Indian Society of International Law and International Committee of the Red Cross. Both these institutions have played a significant role in the glorious journey of the Indian Republic. ISIL was inaugurated by the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Since its establishment in 1959, it has always been at the forefront of the international law discourse in India, fulfilling its objective to foster the study and development of international law and to encourage the comparative study of its application. It was the former Defense Minister of India, the man behind the first draft of the Constitution of India, late V.K. Krishna Menon, who established this premier national institution for teaching, research, and promotion of international law. International Committee for Red Cross, and in particular its founder Henry Dunant, in whose memory the competition is organized, was a visionary person whose vision led to the establishment of this humanitarian organization. Despite the fact that the organization traces its private origins, the ICRC has been the face behind the development of international humanitarian law for 140 years. It was the ICRC that took the initiative which led to the adoption of the original Geneva Convention in 1864, which was the first initial point in the development of international humanitarian law. Today, ISIL and ICRC are ensuring that the coming generations take interest in the study of international law so that law continues to develop in the times to come. For this, I wholeheartedly congratulate both these organizations. The themes of this competition also become increasingly relevant when very recently at the G20 summit, the members have called on all these states to uphold the principles of international humanitarian law, the multilateral system that safeguards peace and stability. Today, the world is interconnected as never before, and therefore, teaching and research in international law holds immense significance. The science of international law is ever evolving, and the institutions like ISIL and ICRC play a pivotal and constructive role in delving deep into understanding the complexities and the nuances of the international law through organized research and competitive methods. It is in the 21st century that the study of international law has gained momentum in playing a major focus in the curriculum of our law schools and our legal education system. International law is not only central in promoting economic and social development and advancing international peace and security, but also impinges upon practically every phase of human activity. Many of the treaties brought about by the United Nations form the basis of this law and governs relation among nations. Therefore, it is not only upon lawyers and practitioners, but also law students, where lies a huge responsibility to illuminate contemporary international law and evolve comparative international legal teaching across geography and eras. Being a part of this branch of human experience and studying the law enshrined in conventions and treaties will definitely spark your careers with the purpose of contributing towards peaceful coexistence with the evolution of more comprehensive global law. Being the fifth largest and one of the fastest growing economies of the world, Indian perspective on international law holds importance. In order to chisel and channelize this perspective, a holistic education in international law becomes necessary. A crucial aspect of teaching international law is teaching research methodologies to law students with rigor. This will equip them to conduct a critical inquiry in the realm of international law. Food court competitions promote this critical thinking and equip the students with skills to rigorously interrogate the law, thus leading to its eventual development. Coming closer to home, promotion of international peace and security is one of the directive principles of the state policy enshrined under Article 51 of the Constitution of India. In India, various obligations flowing from customary international and Constitution of India upon the state to protect the rights of each and every individual. Time and again, Supreme Court of India has highlighted the role and significance of international law. One such instance would be the Vishaka case, where the apex court, in order to fill the void in domestic law in the context of sexual harassment in workplace, resorted to the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women and laid down extensive guidelines. It was observed that any international convention not inconsistent with the fundamental rights and in harmony with its spirit must be read the domestic provisions to enlarge the meaning and content thereof and to promote the constitutional guarantees of justice, liberty, and equality. Today, as the international community battles multiple catastrophes, there arises a need to build a network of solidarity and sustainability with all stakeholders on board. With our collective efforts towards the advancement of international legal scholarships, we must strive to make a just and equitable world order that can imagine a sustainable future. International law, through its framework, can help the world bring a network of solidarity, connecting the world as one and impeting more sustainable methods of global practices. Competition and platforms like these enrich comparative discussions, help build narratives, and develop jurisprudence not only in India but around the world. I know all of you await moot court competitions with a lot of excitement and hope to emerge as the best oralists and best teams. Ambition and pursuit of excellence are indeed virtues, which are the fundamental building blocks of any competition. However, in the midst of all this, don't forget to enjoy the process. The process of mooting was always envisaged to be an entertaining one, where you build arguments only to be cut down by someone more experienced. At its heart, mooting is an interactive learning experience. We all we all would be remiss if we took it in any other way. I have seen moots to be turning points in the lives of the students. I have seen them identify their niche through moots and chart out their career paths after having mooted. All of this can only be possible if you do not lose sight of your vision that the moot may by all means be an end, but never can be an end of itself. And if I may say, सफर खूबसूरत है मंजिल से भी. The end result, the aim you are achieving, the journey is more fruitful, more enjoyable, more entertaining than the ultimate goal. So I hope when you step out of the courtroom today or after these 3 days of hectic competition, you can nod your head, have a smile on your face, and tell your friends
I enjoyed the process and I learned something new. I hope that you see this competition as an opportunity of invaluable experience of learning and growing. Wishing you all the best and may you achieve success wherever you and whatever endeavor you choose to pursue. And don't forget that though you have to work hard to win the competition, but even if you lose in the end, तो हार की जीत हार में भी जीत है इसका ध्यान हमेशा रखिए ब्लेस यू गॉड ब्लेस यू थैंक यू
Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting the objective importance and need to study and research IHI. Thank you once again for accepting our invitation to inaugurate the event and gracing the occasion with your benign presence. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite Dr. George Bulatse to propose formal vote of thanks.
Esteemed panelists, distinguished members of the audience, professors, students, I feel truly humbled and privileged to be given this role to deliver a vote of thanks for this wonderful inaugural session of the 22nd edition of the Henry Dunant Memorial Award Competition in International Humanitarian Law. On behalf of the organizers, the Indian Society of International Law, and the International Committee of the Red Cross, I feel privileged to provide heartfelt gratitude to the speakers of this inaugural panel. Chief guests, Honorable Justice Mittal, Supreme Court of India, Ambassador Narendra Singh, Secretary General of the Indian Society of International Law, Mr. Kadir Al Omar, Head of Regional Delegation of the ICRC, New Delhi, for India, Maldives, Bhutan, and Nepal. Thank you for your inspiring words. I am confident that the words of wisdom that you have shared with students in this audience who are participating in this moot court today, but they are future decision makers, practitioners, academics, practicing international law at the national, regional, and global level. I'm sure your words will stay with them throughout their career of a lifetime, as well as throughout the moot courts competition in the coming 3 days. I would also sincerely like to thank all the participants in this room, as well as distinguished guests, for making the time to join us for this inaugural session and for what's promising to be a very exciting and successful national rounds of the competition. Thank you very much. And finally, I would like to invite everybody and wishing good luck to the team for the successful participation in the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Announcement that we have placed selfie stands outside, so you can get your photos clicked here. I will request not only the participants but also other distinguished guests here to click your photographs and use the selfie stand and also the hashtag on that. That is hashtag ICRC ISIL India Moot. Now I call to come up on the stage for the group photograph. I invite you all the participants, all the guests, for a group photograph on the.
Yes, please. And the direct for the group photograph, I would ask friend to join the right hand. Please come quickly. Okay. Some of the students can take the first row, the ground set, whole track,
STEM downstream service.
Back side will not come your picture. Front side will see more clear picture. And part in the tutorial. हमारे टीममेट तो छोड़े हुए नेक्स्ट
Okay, now at least take the phone. Have a phone.
मैम मैम मैम
Ma'am, ma'am,
Okay, and right. It is one zero. My regulars. That changes. I'm saying the ma'am, short film बनाओ.